Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back to the second match here with Jeskai Queller. Looks like we won the die roll again, and we would love to play first. Let's take a look at our opener here. This is a pretty tame opener. I would say that's a keep. We have turn 1 play, into turn 2 play, into turn 3 play. And we can't ask for much better than that, I'm not going to lie. Our opponent's going down to 6, which is rather unfortunate for them. But if they're a deck that is unfazed by Lightning Bolt, then they may be in a pretty good spot here. Now, the reason I lead with Flooded Strand is, first of all, because I want to be able to turn 1 Lightning Bolt, but even if I didn't have this Lightning Bolt, I would want to get a fetch in the graveyard for Logic Knot. Okay, Lotus Bloom. Okay, Ad Nauseam. Alright, I hear ya. So I'm going to fire off this Lightning Bolt right now, because our life total is largely irrelevant, and we may not have all the time in the world to cast our spells. So the question is, do we shock or do we play an island? And I think we play an island and just keep up Logic Knot. But what we want to do in this matchup is present threats. Wow, did they go double exile? Oh man. So they've got mana. They've got mana. So if they actually, I was gonna say if they go for something, I may. So the question is, because they could just go naturally into Angel's Grace, Angel's Grace Adnaz, and we have very little ways to interact with that. So I think there might be a scenario where running out Spell Queller is correct. Serum Visions. Is this the time to run out Spell Queller? The fact is, Spell Queller only is going to work on like a Phyrexian Unlife, basically. I'm just going to go ahead and run it out there and hope that our opponent is running a bit slow. And that might be a really aggressive line here. But it's also good to start applying pressure. How much? Jeez, they're coming off suspend already? My god. Alright, so we're applying pressure. It's important. Is there a scenario where we're going to need Hallowed Fount like 4 mana? I don't think so. I'm still going to shock it, though, just in case we need to Logic Knot. And we can also represent Cryptic Command. Make our opponent play around more things. I'm not countering either one of these Lotus Blooms here. Which is actually kind of scary because they could have Angel's Grace plus Ad Nauseam, and we can't actually deal with it. Alright, there's a temple. Sure. So they have a lot of mana. We can't beat them on that front. The question is, so let's think. If they go Ad Nauseam, Angel's Grace here, they still have 3 mana left over, and I guess we could counter the Logic Knot. The question is, do we peg them on having it? If they have exactly Angel's Grace, exactly Ad Nauseam. We could just go Electrolyze Face here, and that's another card in the graveyard for Logic Knot, making it live next turn. However, Snapcaster Mage Lightning Bolt is a more aggressive line. I think I'm going to go for this, though. I think doing nothing this turn is too bad, too slow. However, if they go for it here, I'm going to feel really bad. Oh, no. Come on. Come on. Oh, man. Punished. Straight up punished. I'm going to let our opponent run through it. Wow. And they can reveal their whole deck for us. Just see if they have anything crazy. I don't think they will. But we knew that play going. Valiant Academy. That's one I'm not familiar with. If someone opponent controls, cause your discard card, you can reveal that card and put it on top of your library. Oh wow, that's pretty decent. It's good against like hand disruption. There's Lightning Storm. Is there Laboratory Maniac? Wow, Censor. What? Alright, so it looks like this opponent is trying out very interesting things. Okay, so no main deck Lab Maniac. Interesting. Oh no, sorry. There's Lab Maniac right there. Alright, our opponent's got it. Okay. So we saw Censor, we saw that interesting land, and we got punished. So, Dispel, Negate, Geist, Stony. Maybe a couple rejections to handle Lotus Blooms. The question, alright, so I do like, alright, so as much as okay, so Path to Exile, definitely coming out, right? Burn is not completely dead in the matchup, but Electrolyze is a little slow on the burn side, right? So I'm going to go ahead and cut that. Ceremonious Rejection can help deal with Lotus Blooms and or Pentad Prisms. Rest of these threats are pretty good. I don't know, maybe cut one Helix. Like, yeah, burn is good, helps close out a game, but I think we want to also counter their mana development as well. I think 3 is a little too much. 2 seems like a good spot, right? Is it better than the... Yeah, maybe we should just cut... Just full-on Disruption, right? I think that's totally acceptable. Yes, we would like to play first. Let's take a look at our opener here. Pretty disruptive. We can proactively play Spell Queller. So I'm going to go ahead and keep. Cryptic Command is just okay in this matchup because sometimes we need to have double counter spells to deal with Pact of Negation. Sure, I'm going to go ahead and just crack my fetch while I'm at it here. Just so I can F6. And let's see what our opponent does here. So yeah, maybe I got a little too aggressive. We weren't in a rush anywhere in that last matchup, so I'm thinking maybe just keeping up Logic Knot was the right play. But at the same time, next turn they would have been able to play around Logic Knot if we didn't draw a card that could put something in the graveyard like a fetch land. So, hard to say. Alright, another Spell Queller makes me okay about running out one Spell Queller for damage purposes. So here we keep up Mana Leak for something like a Pentad Prism. Try to slow him down a bit. Okay, no Pentad Prism. If they have like a sleight of hand here, I don't think I'm countering that. What we need here, I would say, is either more lands. What? Black mana, Thoughtseize. I will counter Thoughtseize. Yep. So now next turn we're gonna... Oh, Mana Leak's not a bad draw, but we're gonna hope to hit our opponent's Phyrexian Unlife when they're trying to cast it here. Alright, so they don't try to cast it here. The hope is they try to cast something, right? But they're not. So the question is now, do we run out one of our Spell Quellers? And I think we do, because we have another one and we also have Mana Leak. I think it's important to start applying pressure. So this is one of those scenarios where I would love to have had the Lightning Helix that this Ceremonious Rejection replaced. Alright, Seachrome Coast. Alright. Land. Dispel is actually a pretty good draw. It means that I can fight over a Pact of Negation. But this 10-turn clock isn't particularly exciting. Alright, we'll see what our opponent does here. They're going to go for the Phyrexian Unlife. I don't think there's any scenario we lose here, so let's go ahead and run out another Spell Queller. Double the clock. And now we can keep up Mana Leak plus Dispel on our opponent's next turn. Wow, Mana Leak plus Negate. I'd say we're in a pretty good spot here. So our opponent's on a 3-turn clock. We have a lot of disruption in hand. Alright, looks like our opponent's passing the turn. Lightning Bolt, not quite the card we need. So, something like I was thinking Dragon Lord Dromoka would actually be pretty, insane here, right? Which I've seen some ad nauseam players move towards in the sideboard. The hope is that they don't have it, because we cut all of our Path to Exiles. If they do have it, this game is going to be much harder to win. Alright, so land is actually not bad. It lets us go Mana Leak plus Negate or Mana Leak plus Dispel plus Bolt. Not that we're going to need to use Bolt here, I think. Our opponent's dead in 1 turn. They're going to be forced to go off pretty soon if they don't go off here. They do have some Angel's Graces and things like that, so not the end of the world. I don't think there's any reason to crack the fetch here. Yep, another land is great. Great. If my opponent Angel's Graces here, that's fine. Yep. And we can actually save Lightning Bolt for their turn. We could do it on their end of turn, right? And this will force them to use another Angel's Grace, or go off that turn. And we still have Mana Leak plus Dispel. Alright, and our opponent just concedes. Okay. Whew. So is that plan correct? I think this sideboard plan is fine. I don't like Electrolyze, it's too expensive. We just want to have Disruption in hand. We just want to have Apply Pressure in hand. So goal is to hit land drops and draw Disruption, and that's the goal here. Stony Silence is pretty good. I like that. I like this hand. No clock yet or anything, but so the question here is, do we lead on Serum Visions or Colonnade? Now I want to lead on Colonnade just to make sure that if my opponent goes turn 2 Pentad Prism, that I'll be able to fight it back with turn 2 Stony Silence. Sure, sleight of hand. I didn't look at their they went top bottom. Okay, so they drew one of the cards they wanted, and now they got one random card. Sure, sleight of hand. So no Pentad Prism, no Lotus Blooms, interestingly enough. Dispel is a pretty solid draw. We're just gonna run out Stony Silence here, just to blank future Pentad Prisms. Not the greatest card in this spot, but overall, I think it's a very solid card to have in the matchup. Alright, more cantrips. So they're crafting the perfect hand here, which is scary, to say the least, but they don't have any acceleration. So they're going bottom. Alright. Let's see if they scry to the bottom or the top. I believe they scry to the bottom. Okay. So this turn we're going to go ahead and probably Serum Visions, try to hit more land drops, draw more cards. Spell Queller. Cryptic Command, I think is going to be a little slow here. We really just want to hit land drops, right? So also the reason to save Lightning Bolts is for those Angel Grace moments, so you can use it on their end step. Phyrexian Unlife here would be pretty punishing. Alright, no Unlife. Good for us. Alright, we're still hitting land drops, also good for us. Spoils of the Vault. Choose a card name. So I think I want to let this resolve because I can fight with Mana Leak plus Dispel. Alright, so Ad Nauseam got revealed. So if they have double packed, we're of course going to get very punished here. Oh wait, even double pack doesn't get us, right? Because we have double counterspell. Yep, can't respond to Angel's Grace. So they need Simian Spirit Guide plus double packed, right? No, double pack does get us, right? I can't do math. All right. So are they going to be able to exile Simian Spirit? So they exile a Simian Spirit Guide, and if they use a Simian Spirit Guide here, will they have enough to exile enough Simian Spirit Guides to cast Lightning Storm? Maybe that's what they just realized, that they hit one of their Spirit Guides, and if they have to use a Spirit Guide here, then... Although maybe they just go for it anyways. And we're going to fight over it. We're not going to not fight over it, right? Let's go ahead and attempt to mana leak that. Alright, so we're going to let the pact resolve. That way they have to... that way they have to pay the mana on their next turn. Alright, they have double pact, sure, but do they have... Alright, so they're going to go ahead and draw a bunch of stuff. I don't think they can do it, right? They have 2 Simian Spirit Guides? There's 2 guides. They use 2. Lightning Storm costs 3. Right? I'm not crazy? I might be crazy. I might be totally wrong. You guys might just be screaming in your head like, no, this is totally fine. We're dead here. So they had the double pact. They sure did. There's an Angel's Grace. There's the Pentad. There's a Pentad Prism. So they got Lab Maniac. Right? God, I swear Lightning Storm is triple... Unless Lightning Storm was already in their hand? That's possible, right? Yeah, that's the one card we don't see. Yeah, so they only have 2 Simian Spirit Guides here. I don't know how they win. I do not know how they win. Considering they have to pay for Pact next turn or play an Angel's Grace, and I guess they could go Lab Maniac. Yeah, they could play Lab Maniac, I guess, on their next turn. Oh, no, but they don't have Phyrexian Unlife. They die if they pass the turn, right? Alright, opponent, I mean, am I missing something? I could very well be missing something. But yeah, I think hitting that Spirit Guide off of the spoils is what got them, and then not waiting one turn to use Ad Nauseam. Yeah, I mean, part of piloting a deck like Ad Nauseam is knowing how to play it. So I'm gonna go ahead and pause the video here, and I will let you guys know if our Ad Nauseam opponent makes a move in the next 14 minutes. So I will hopefully see you guys sooner rather than later. Alright, well, it looks like our opponent conceded the match here, guys. It only took like 40 seconds since we last talked. But, yeah, so they figured that with only 2 Simian Spirit Guides left in their deck, Lightning Storm costs 3. And then, you know, all the lands. So they were just one off, basically. And because they overextended on that one turn, they didn't think through it, then they they weren't able to kill us that turn. So the game could have gone differently, but you know, it is what it is, right? All right, so we're 2-0 with Jeskai Queller so far, and stay tuned for the third match. I'll see you soon.